recorded live from... It's the Death Battle Awards Season 6 edition! And here to present the awards for the evening, please welcome Wolf!
Hello everyone and welcome to the Death Battle Awards Season 6 edition. As was announced, we'll be doing things differently for tonight than we have with the awards since Season 2. I will be handing out all the awards myself tonight during the presentation, as I want to give my guest presenters a break and not feel like I'm hassling them over these awards. We also won't have any commercials like we usually do, though any announcements that are important I will make at times. So let's get started. Our first award tonight is not usually an award that's desired amongst fans of these episodes. After all, no one likes hearing that the thing they like is despised by other people. But to some, liking an episode that challenges the conventions of what other people like in a death battle is a high honor, especially if it's an episode that is just as liked as it is hated. Here are the nominees for Saltiest Episode.
Saltiest Episode: Sasuke vs. Hiei, Ganondorf vs. Dracula, Weiss vs. Mitsuru, Deadpool vs. Mask, Ghost Rider vs. Lobo, Dragonzord vs. Mechagodzilla, Wario vs. King Dedede, Captain Marvel vs. Shazam, Mob vs. Tatsumaki, Ben 10 vs. Green Lantern,
And the award for Saltiest Episode goes to Ben 10 vs. Green Lantern. For our next award, we go to what might be everyone's favorite award, even if they don't vote in the polls or see this video. When Death Battle does a great animation, people notice. But the best part of the animation, if you ask most people, is the death. What better way to cap off an animation, whether it's good or bad, than with a satisfying end to one of the Death Battle combatants? Here are the nominees for Best Death.
Best Death: Sasuke Uchiha, Sasuke vs. Hiei,
That's more like it. A fight fit for a demon.
Widowmaker, Black Widow vs. Widowmaker,
I can't survive anything.
Nice theory. Let's test it. До свидания.
Wario vs. King Dedede, All Might vs. Might God,
Good fight. Let's do it again.
Tommy Oliver, Dragonzord vs. Mechagodzilla,
Oh no! Pull back! Pull back!
Namor the Submariner.
You
Aquaman versus Namor.
Impossible!
How about 'em, boys? Dinner's on the king tonight.
Ben
care
Tennyson.
what kind of power-
Ben 10 versus Green Lantern.
Reality includes time.
Time, huh? Thanks for the tip.
You're not the first doofus to try to take this. It's hero time.
Ew, I stepped in loser. Oh, it hurts to laugh. Don't ask.
Ganondorf Dragmire. Ganondorf versus Dracula.
You're right. You're not a man. You're a pig. Let me hear you squeal.
Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage versus Captain Falcon.
Who's fire? Only one can be worthy.
Lobo. Ghost Rider versus Lobo.
Holy fraggaroli. I definitely ain't picking up that bounty now. Lobo of Zarya, your sins are innumerable. I am here to wreak vengeance upon your soul. No.
And the award for Best Death goes to Ganondorf Dragmire. Congratulations to Ganondorf vs. Dracula, which is also a nominee for our next category. Seeing two characters fight is fun, but the fight can be made even better by having the two characters interact with the fight scene itself. For something as small as a courtyard to as big as a planet, or even more, the setting of the fight and how it's used can make a fight even better. Here are the nominees for Best Use of Setting.
Best use of setting. Black Widow versus Widowmaker. Aang versus Edward Elric. Ghost Rider versus Lobo.
Bottoms up!
Ganondorf vs. Dracula. Wario vs. King DDD. Mob vs. Tatsumaki.
How easy.
All Might vs. Might Guy.
I can't lose. I have the power of youth on my side. You're inspiring, but no one can defeat the symbol of peace. Ha ha! Incredible! Let's take this up a notch! Give me your best shot. I won't hold back. That's a promise. Wow! Dynamic entry! Nice trick! My turn! Texas! You can take a hit well, but what are you really made of?
Aquaman vs. Namor.
Everyone has their place. That's just how things are. You should understand yours!
You are such a terrific dumbass.
Ben 10 vs. Green Lantern.
Ew! I stepped in loser!
Yawn.
Dragon Zord vs. Mechagodzilla.
Ha! Nice work, Dragon Sword! Let's crush this tin can!
And the award for best use of setting goes to Mob versus Tatsumaki. Congratulations to Mob versus Tatsumaki on their win, and thank you to everyone who voted on this rather close matchup. And if you want to decide on close votes for the Season 7 awards, you can click the link in the description to go to the Google Forms poll, or if you're watching the live premiere, you can click the link that will appear on stream right now and go to the poll. Now, let's get back to the awards for Season 6. There have been a lot of episodes of Death Battle in their 10 years of existence. And if you look into the fan base for long enough, you start to see some highly requested matchups. And usually, those episodes end up getting made sooner or later. However, some matchups are far different from anything anyone asked for. And whether or not that's a good thing is up to who you ask. But it does show just how original the team is willing to be with their episodes. Here are the nominees for Most Original Matchup.
Most Original Matchup. Wario vs. King DDD. Ben 10 vs. Green Lantern. Weiss vs. Mitsuru. Black Widow vs. Widowmaker. Johnny Cage vs. Captain Falcon. All Might vs. Might Guy. Mega Man Battle Royale. Mob vs. Tatsumaki. Deadpool vs. Mask. Ghost Rider vs. Lobo.
And the award for Most Original Matchup goes to Johnny Cage versus Captain Falcon. Wow, 4 categories with 4 different winners. Let's see if we can keep this up all night. For our next category, we'll be looking at the best female combatant. Let's face it, without good combatants, this show wouldn't exist. And as a result, it's great when we get to see our favorite characters enter into Death Battle. But while the guys get most of the attention, it's always nice when Death Battle shows that girls can do just as many cool things. Here are the nominees for Best Female Combatant.
Best Female Combatant. Captain Marvel. Tatsumaki. Weiss Schnee. Akame Yashiro. Widowmaker. Black Widow. Mitsuru Kirijo.
And the award for Best Female Combatant goes to Tatsumaki! This is Mob vs. Tatsumaki's second award of the evening, having previously won Best Use of Setting. Congrats to our first repeat winner of the evening. For this next category, we'll be focusing on the fantastic music that Death Battle puts into their episodes. With great music, we get great fight scenes, as well as some of the most iconic moments in Death Battle history. And with original songs, that only makes it even truer, since so many songs in the show are so beloved by fans. With a great selection of songs, it's never easy to predict who will win, since so many people have so many tastes. Here are the nominees for Best Song.
Best Song. Dangerous Gaze by Brandon Yates featuring Toxic Eternity. Sasuke vs. Hiei. Mighty by Werewolf Darewolf and Brandon Yates. All Might vs. Might Guy. Emerald Heroes by Werewolf Werewolf. Ben 10 versus Green Lantern. The Dark Lords by Brandon Yates. Ganondorf versus Dracula. Mega Mania by Brandon Yates featuring Sifu Aye. Mega Man Battle Royale. Appetite for Greed by Brandon Yates. Wario vs. King DDD. Falcon Uncaged by Brandon Yates featuring Ricard EV. Johnny Cage versus Captain Falcon. Winter Sonata by Werewolf Werewolf. Weiss versus Mitsuru. Draconic Robotics by Werewolf Werewolf. Dragonzord vs. Mechagodzilla. Goodbye Chimichanga by Werewolf Werewolf. Deadpool vs. Mask.
And the award for Best Song goes to Mighty by Werewolf Werewolf and Brandon Yates. Death Battle's deaths can be spectacular to watch, but they can be even more spectacular when one character is killed in the most brutal way possible. Brutality is great for Death Battle, and seeing the winner take the fight in brutal fashion, that's when things get really fun. Here are the nominees for Most Brutal Death.
Most Brutal Death. Namor the Submariner. Aquaman vs. Namor.
Impossible! How about it, boys? Dinner's on the king tonight.
Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage versus Captain Falcon.
Who's fire? Only one can be worthy.
Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke versus VA.
That's more like it. A fight fit for a demon.
Mega Man X and Star Force Mega Man. Mega Man Battle Royale. Tommy Oliver.
We've got this!
Dragon Zord versus Mechagodzilla.
Oh no! Pull back! Pull back!
Ganondorf Dragmire. Ganondorf versus Dracula.
You're right. You're not a man. You're a pig. Let me hear you squeal.
Wario. Wario versus King DDD. Lobo. Ghost Rider versus Lobo.
Holy fraggaroli. I definitely ain't picking up that bounty now.
Lobo of Zarnia, your sins are innumerable. I am here to wreak vengeance upon your soul. Ben 10.
What kind of power?
Ben 10 versus Green Lantern.
Reality includes time.
Time, huh? Thanks for the tip.
You're not the first doofus to try to take this. It's hero time.
Ew, I stepped in loser. Oh, it hurts to laugh. Don't ask.
Deadpool. Deadpool versus Mask.
Fuck you.
Indeed.
Who's next?
And the award for most brutal death goes to Ganondorf Dragmire. This is Ganondorf vs. Dracula's second award of the evening, having previously won Best Death. For this next category, we're going to honor the death battle combatants that tried their best to win, but just fell short. People don't like seeing their favorite characters lose in death battle, so this is for the people that feel their character didn't get the credit they deserve. Here are the nominees for Strongest Loser.
Strongest Loser. Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke vs. Hiei.
And as mentioned before, Sasuke is known for his incredible speed, able to keep pace with the likes of fellow legends Naruto and Madara. In fact, Naruto once dodged an attack from Madara which, according to the 4th databook, moves at the speed of light.
And Sasuke can fight Naruto to a draw. You know, the guy who's an alien descendant with a demon fox in his belly and also took a beam to the face that sliced the moon in half? That's a 27 exaton blast right there.
Ben 10. Ben 10 vs. Green Lantern.
Alien X is so tough, he survived the destruction of the entire universe by the Annihilarg and didn't feel a thing. Like, his durability was so through the roof, he didn't even realize total cosmic annihilation was happening right on top of him.
Based on rough estimates made by a NASA astrophysicist, the total mass energy of the universe in joules is 4.
Well, that doesn't seem very impressive.
Followed by 69 zeros.
Oh, there it is.
And to top it off, Ben as Alien X went and just remade an entirely new universe identical to the old one.
Star Force Mega Man. Mega Man Battle Royale.
With all these powers and more, Geo and Omega have the resume to match. They've defeated dozens of enemies, including Sirius.
Ha! We got her!
Who was powerful enough to move a black hole hundreds of millions of miles in a single day. The black hole in question was Sagittarius A, which has a mass 4 million times greater than the Sun. Factoring in its mass and the speed it traveled, we can get a kinetic energy of 4.6 decillion megatons of TNT. Enough to obliterate a solar system.
Then Star Force survived inside of that black hole like it was nothing.
Lobo. Ghost Rider vs. Lobo.
This unimaginable strength lets him brawl with the likes of Superman, but that's barely scratching the surface.
Name anybody in DC Comics and it's likely Lobo's kicked their ass. He can even punch ghosts! Sounds like the only thing that can kill this guy is an act of God.
Not even that. After rampaging through heaven and hell, tearing through armies of angels, demons, and what have you, Lobo's bloodlust on a literally biblical scale got him banned from the afterlife. As in, Death was told that Lobo's soul was not to be collected.
Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel vs. Shazam.
She's tough enough to survive a nuclear blast, a shot from a disintegrator beam which can destroy the android Vision in one shot, and even a direct hit from a tachyon laser.
Tachyons are a theoretical class of particles that travel faster than the speed of light and are capable of slicing through nearly anything.
Like an entire Kree starship? Yeah, I wouldn't want to be on the end of one of those.
Not only was Marvel able to take a hit from one of these, she could dodge subsequent shots as well.
But let's take it up a notch. As Binary, she's survived attacks from both the Phoenix Force and the Alephs, both of which are known for blowing up entire planets. Hell, she can wipe out planets on her own if she really wants to, 'cause she totally already has.
Ganondorf Dragmire. Ganondorf vs. Dracula.
Ganondorf isn't just tough, he's powerful enough to punch shockwaves, tear up an island, and block out the sky with his magical malice.
Plus, he can keep up with Link. He's even killed him in one timeline. And this fairy boy can dodge Beamos lasers.
Which are literal lasers. They move in a straight line, burn instead of exploding, and according to the game's guidebook, are called lasers. So they should move at light speed. Based on the distance Link moved relative to this beam, we can estimate his own reaction speed to be about 11% the speed of light.
Wario. Wario vs. King Dedede.
He can seemingly eat anything, including explosives and his own bike. He can, of course, keep up with Mario, who kicked a 61 million ton castle and piloted the Star Diver at Mach 375. Also, Wario destroyed the Black Jewel, an entity whose death triggered the collapse of an entire dimension.
So, does everyone he fights blow up when they die, or what?
Namor the Submariner. Aquaman vs. Namor.
The Submariner is strong enough to match the savage, incredible Hulk, who's lifted 150 billion tons of rock for over a minute. If that's not good enough for you, how about the time Namor held up a whole frigging island all by himself?
He's quick enough to catch the Human Torch, absorbed and discharged electricity powerful enough to injure Dr. Doom, took on Thor Trident to hammer, survived a mountain falling on him, and even resisted the mind control powers of the Purple Man. See, Boomstick, in the grand scheme of things, little winged feet aren't so bad when you could have been called Purple Man.
Dragonzord. Dragonzord vs. Mechagodzilla.
Plus, while Fighting Mode's max power wasn't too clear, it could compete with the Thunder Megazord and Rita herself.
Remember how Rita blew up an island? Easily one of the most impressive destruction feats in the Rangers' early years. Based on this image, we can measure the exact scale of the island.
To blow that shit up, you'd need a blast of at least 2.6 gigatons of TNT. So Dragonzord's Ultra Drill Stab was likely in the same ballpark in terms of power output.
Edward Elric. Aang vs. Edward Elric.
He also survived an explosion that took out most of a 10-story building.
Even apart from being tough, Ed has shown considerable strength when using alchemy.
Like when he created a gigantic golem to crush his opponent.
By measuring the size of the stone golem's thumb, comparing it to the size of the average human's thumb, and using that scale to estimate the size of the golem, that gives us an estimated weight of over 3,000 metric tons.
All this without any Philosopher's Stone.
And the award for strongest loser goes to Ben 10. This is Ben 10 versus Green Lantern's second award of the evening, having previously won Saltiest Episode. With our show just about halfway done, our next category goes to what might be many people's favorite part of any episode, the animation. Seeing two characters we love face off against each other and interact visually is a dream most people never get to see, mainly due to corporate pride and brand restrictions. Nowadays, the best you can hope for is seeing a character get into a crossover game like Super Smash Bros., or be a guest character in something like Mortal Kombat. As a result, animation is incredibly important to make the characters look good while doing iconic or awesome things that we know them for. Here are the nominees for Best Animation.
Best Animation. Ganondorf vs. Dracula. Mega Man Battle Royale. Johnny Cage versus Captain Falcon.
You sports types really take auditions seriously!
So cool.
Ben 10 versus Green Lantern.
Before it gets heated.
Too late. Hey, you ever seen a supernova?
Several, actually.
Once versus Mitsuru.
As annoying as this was, I have to admit, you fought valiantly.
Sasuke versus EA.
No match.
Dragonzord vs. Mechagodzilla.
Let's just say,
Mask.
I know the right people. With this continuity jam, I can rewrite anything I think needs fixing. I could stop Hitler from being born, rewrite the Star Wars prequels, or even make you take off that mask. No! Stop it! No! This is over.
Black Widow vs. Widowmaker.
You've got to be kidding me.
Mob vs. Tatsumaki.
And the award for Best Animation goes to Ganondorf vs. Dracula. This is Ganondorf vs. Dracula's third award of the evening, having previously won Best Death and Most Brutal Death. So, how are you guys liking these awards? I hope you're enjoying them as much as I enjoy making these videos. And if you're enjoying this content and not subscribed yet, why not subscribe? It'll let you know whenever I make a new video, be it Death Battle related or something else. Also, if you've got some money to spare, why not consider becoming a patron of mine over on Patreon? I've got plenty of reward tiers on there, and you can donate as little as $1 a month. Now, with that obligatory ad out of the way, let's get back to the awards. Surprises are something that can be considered as rather neutral. A good surprise would be something like a surprise party, or free money. A bad surprise would be most of the things that happened last year. And in Death Battle, a surprising outcome can be either good or bad, depending on several factors. While some may like when Death Battle doesn't go exactly how we expect it to, sometimes they make us wonder how much research was done. Here are the nominees for Most Surprising Outcome.
Most Surprising Outcome. Ghost Rider vs. Lobo.
That poor bastard didn't stand a ghost of a chance. Sorry, I knew that was a Lobo.
The winner is Ghost Rider.
Ben 10 vs. Green Lantern.
Guess you could say Hal was definitely the ringer for this fight. Oh, whiz, don't be green with envy. That pun was 10 out of Ben.
The winner is Green Lantern.
Wario vs. King DDD.
He really took the penguin.
The winner is King DDD.
Ganondorf vs. Dracula.
Of all the ways to go, that must have sucked. The big pig's chances were slim to gan none.
The winner is Dracula.
Weiss vs. Mitsuru.
She had no chance.
The winner is Mitsuru Kirijo.
Sasuke vs. Hiei.
Sasuke lost the edge and was a Sharon Connor.
The winner is Hiei.
All Might vs. Might Guy.
It was a mighty tough battle for all, but All Might wasn't a match for one powerful guy.
The winner is Might Guy.
Dragonzord vs. Mechagodzilla.
I'm just glad they didn't let the fight drag on.
The winner is Kiru.
Mechagodzilla!
Johnny Cage vs. Captain Falcon.
In the end, Johnny just couldn't finish the race.
The winner is Captain Falcon.
Mega Man Battle Royale.
This battle totally rocked, man.
The winner is Megaman.exe.
And the award for Most Surprising Outcome goes to Ben 10 vs. Green Lantern. This is Ben 10 versus Green Lantern's third award of the evening, having previously won Saltiest Episode and Strongest Loser. With our next category, we go from surprised to sad. While it's fun getting to watch one fictional character kill another, sometimes it can make us feel sad, whether it be a character from our childhoods or someone whose final moments made you want them to pull through and win. Here are the nominees for Saddest Death.
Saddest Death. Tommy Oliver. Dragonzord versus Mechagodzilla.
Oh no! Pull back! Pull back!
Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke versus Hiei.
That's more like it. A fight fit for a demon.
Deadpool. Deadpool versus Mask.
Fuck you.
Indeed. Who's next?
Weiss Schnee. Weiss versus Mitsuru. Classic Mega Man. Mega Man Battle Royale. Edward Elric. Aang versus Edward Elric.
At least I'm taller than you.
You left me no choice.
Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage versus Captain Falcon.
Who's fire?
Only one can be worthy.
All Might. All Might versus Might God.
Good fight. Let's do it again.
Ben 10.
What kind of power?
Ben 10 versus Green Lantern.
Reality includes time.
Time, huh? Thanks for the tip.
You're not the first doofus to try to take this. It's hero time.
Ew, I stepped in loser. Oh, it hurts to laugh. Don't ask.
Shigeo Mob Kageyama. Mob versus Tatsumaki.
You should pay more attention. Nobody beats me.
And the award for saddest death goes to All Might. This is All Might versus Might Guy's second award of the evening, having previously won Best Song. Let's move on to something more fun. Wiz and Boomstick. Our hosts of Death Battle have certainly done a lot of weird, crazy, hilarious things over the years. In Season 6, they got to be on camera all season long during the rundowns and recaps, and that means their comedy gets to incorporate more sight gags as a result, making their potential for comedy even funnier. Here are the nominees for Best Host Script and Recap.
Best Host Script and Recap. Dragonzord vs. Mechagodzilla.
He summons and controls the Dragonzord with the Dragon Dagger by playing it like a flute. Wait, are all knives secretly flutes?
They've never, not been flutes.
Oh my god, really? Wait a minute, why didn't this come up in poultry science class?
Chickens don't like music?
How stupid do you think I am? Chickens love music! Ah! God, this is what they mean by a sharp note!
Mega Man Battle Royale.
Don't worry, Yuna.
Why?
I know Ro. She'll come looking for us, no matter what happens.
Whoa. Don't try and pull that happily ever after crap. Humanity went extinct, the planet is flooded, and the last Mega Man is stuck in space forever because Legends 3 is never gonna happen. That peaceful future Dr. Light fought so hard for turned out to be total bullshit, and if you think about it, it's all his fault. Love and peace are lies, God is dead, and we're all totally
Deadpool vs. Mask.
Oh yeah? Well, let's go over some of these feats of yours. Take it away, Wiz.
With pleasure. Deadpool has showcased his impressive super strength when, at one point, he stood up straight, without aid. Based on Deadpool's cannon weight and examining the distribution of mass here, we can deduce his legs can support 210 pounds, or just under 100 kilograms.
Wait, what?
Oh, or how about the time he held up this pistol? That's a Desert Eagle Mark 19, which weighs 72 whole ounces. Amazing!
Guys, what the hell? You know I can kick people through concrete walls and yank around a 6-ton helicopter, right?
Here we can see him running, much like typical human beings run. And the average male running speed is about 9.4 kilometers per hour.
Hey, I was out running a goddamn airplane! Do you know how fast airplanes are? Jesus H. Christ almighty! Do some research for once, you frauds!
Weiss vs. Mitsuru.
But hey, how about that time Mitsuru and her whole team survived an explosion that totally wrecked this whole bridge? Now, in my humble opinion, using my very own handcrafted munitions measurement chart, I'd say this blast falls somewhere in the range of, oh shit, we're dead.
Interesting, but let's use some real science now.
This is real science. I tested explosions and their real effects on real people, just like you would. I'm a real scientist now.
But that's... wait, real people? Boomstick? Where are the interns?
Hey, look, I got you that coat that you wanted.
Ooh, thank you. Oh, it's so soft.
So are the interns.
Aquaman vs. Namor.
Apparently, his bouts of anger stem from a strange bipolar defect brought on by oxygen imbalance. Which, last I checked, isn't quite how bipolar disorder works.
No, Wiz, I have the same kind of problem. I get super evil and grumpy when I haven't had a beer in at least 24 hours.
24?
12, 6, 2. Screw you.
Boomstick, that's a chemical dependency.
Just like my personal hero, Bane.
You're missing the point.
Oh, you think the point is your ally, but you merely adopted the point. I was born in it, molded.
How about that point? At the end of the day,
Ganondorf versus Dracula.
I'm sorry, Wiz, but you can already tell this guy is evil because his name is Math. I mean, I know we use math all the time to do the show, but sometimes one must embrace the darkness to see the light.
Right. Anyway, Matthias' grief was so intense, he swore vengeance on God himself. To achieve his vengeance, Matthias sought the powers of God's polar opposite, chaos.
So he set up an easy 6-step plan. Step 1, pick up a red rock called the Crimson Stone. It'll be important later. Step 2, force death itself to become your personal secretary. Step 3, kill Luigi. Step 4, convince a vampire named Walter to kill Leon's fiancée, cause misery loves company. Step 5, let Leon murder poor Walt and have death shove his soul into that red rock. Step 6, congratulations, you are now a vampire. Goth kids, I hope you were paying attention.
Wario versus King Dedede.
Planet Popstar is shown to be similar in size to the planet Shiverstar, which strongly resembles a frozen-over Earth. To destroy an Earth-sized planet like this, Kirby must have been striking with a force of over 1,900 septillion tons of TNT.
Damn! Who would have thought this adorable pink puffball could pull that off? And get this! Apparently he's only 8 inches tall! He's a planet buster that fits in the palm of your hand!
He's shown even greater feats too, and while Dedede isn't necessarily taking this sort of damage every time Kirby lands a punch, he does fight on equal footing with him.
Who keeps making these cute and cuddly characters so freaking deadly?
Ben 10 versus Green Lantern.
Well, let's see if I can take one of these babies for a spin.
Where did you get that?
Don't worry about it. Whoa!
Well, the Omnitrix does have one drawback. It usually has an automatic cooldown period for a few minutes between transformations, because overuse can permanently disfigure the user's DNA.
Alright, forgot to say that 4 seconds earlier. If you'll excuse me, I need to pee out my face.
I'll fix this later.
Ghost Rider versus Lobo.
He's like if Superman and Deadpool had a baby, which is a lot more terrifying when I say it out loud.
Did somebody say Deadpool?
No, go away! There. He's gone. Whew.
Wow, I didn't think you had it in you.
Oh, honey, that's not true. Haven't you heard? No one's ever really gone. See you later!
I swear to God I'll kill him someday.
So, you had the replacement plan on that TV, right?
Johnny Cage versus Captain Falcon.
But even with these powers, Cage is still a mortal man. Whenever he found himself in trouble, he needed a go-to technique to get out of it.
Oh, and he came up with the absolute perfect move. It's the Nutcracker, the Berry Buster, the Infertilizer, the Beanbag Barrage, the Not That Kind of Blow, and my personal favorite, the Help Doctor, I think they're in my ribcage special.
That's horrifically disturbing.
It's inspiring, that's what. He's strong enough to rip your whole body apart and send your Johnson flying off to another country. Fatality! Oh, God, what the hell?
This isn't my first rodeo.
And the award for Best Host Script and Recap goes to Deadpool vs. Mask. With Season 6, there were a ton of characters that were incredibly strong throughout the season. In fact, this might be the season that had the most powerful characters in Death Battle history overall. With that said, here are the nominees for Strongest Winner.
Strongest Winner. Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider versus Lobo.
When he's unleashed, he becomes so powerful, even Doctor Strange wets his robes. And this is the guy who pops supernovas like Pez.
While Zarathos was bonded to another host, they even managed to defeat Mephisto in his own realm. For reference, Mephisto once battled Galactus, Devourer of Worlds. Stars detonated, galaxies trembled, and the entire universe was at risk, simply as a byproduct of their battle.
The Mask. Deadpool versus Mask.
Toon Force users can manipulate their bodies in any way they like, whether it be stretching their limbs, inflating themselves like a balloon, or shape-shifting into giant monsters.
And best of all, you can't really hurt a Toon. Well, at least not in the normal way.
Right, it's not that the mask has a specific healing factor or some such. It's more like he can just say no to damage.
Mechagodzilla. Dragon Zord versus Mechagodzilla.
To the absolute zero cannon. Here, it's destroying the real-life Prince Hotel New Tower and several surrounding buildings. Using the known scale of these structures, the energy output to destroy them must equal 128 teratons of TNT.
That's over 49,000 times more powerful. And don't forget, Mega-G once survived being in the middle of this blast.
Green Lantern. Ben 10 versus Green Lantern.
He was fast enough to fly to Earth from a planet at the edge of the universe, and factoring how DC's observable universe is at least 100 trillion light years in diameter, Hal must have been flying well over 1.5 quintillion times the speed of light. And without the ring, Hal once had to pilot a ship traveling over light speed manually. As in, there were planets and stars in his way, and Hal had to steer.
And since he can match the god of willpower, he can pull off crazy will feats that other Green Lanterns have done, like when Kyle Rayner held back a Big Bang.
Megaman.exe. Mega Man Battle Royale.
But EXE was fast enough to search the whole Cyberworld universe in a brief period of time, and powerful enough to later destroy it in its entirety.
And the cyberworld isn't just a hard drive with some gigabytes. It's a universe with stars and galaxies and the whole shebang.
To clock EXE's speed, we first need to find the volume of EXE's field of view compared to the volume of the observable universe. With that, we can determine the number of passes EXE made across its diameter in order to search everywhere. While the manga doesn't give an exact time frame, the situation EXE is in is dire. His ally, Base.exe, is on death's door. So Mega Man's solution is to zoom around the universe as fast as possible until he happens upon some tool or weapon that can help.
That doesn't sound like it should work. But it does, and he couldn't have been gone for more than a minute or Base would have been done for.
So with that in mind, EXE must have been traveling over 3 novemdecillion times the speed of light. That's 60 zeros long.
Wiz, I'm pretty sure we just set a new record for highest number ever on this show.
You know, I think so.
Hiei. Sasuke versus Hiei.
Recall how there were multiple claims that S-Class demons could obliterate the Earth. Since most fights took place in the demon world, which is much hardier than the human one, these claims were difficult to prove and seemed a little dubious.
Until Yusuke fought Yomi and they made that gigantic explosion.
As we determined earlier, that blast was at least 4.5 million meters tall. At minimum, the kinetic energy of an explosion like this would equal about 285 zetatons of TNT.
That's 21 zeros! Way more than Sasuke's meteor feat. Even if we half it, cause there's 2 people doing the punching, that's still over 5,000 times greater than the Naruto moon slice.
It's probably even more impressive than that. If the tree is actually closer to the clouds and therefore closer to the planet, that technically changes the shot's perspective, which would mean the tree is actually even wider, the explosion even larger, and thus the kinetic energy even greater.
Aquaman. Aquaman versus Namor.
Oh, and he even fought the ancient dead king of Atlantis, Atlan. This guy was so strong, he sank Atlantis centuries ago with one blow from his scepter, and Aquaman held back a repeat of the same attack with his bare hands.
While there's no official size for DC's Atlantis, it is officially considered a continent. Therefore, it has to have a greater landmass than Greenland, the largest island in the world. This means Atlantis must consist of more than 836,000 square miles. To sink or destroy it, Atlan must have been outputting potential energy averaging more than 155 trillion tons of TNT.
Shazam. Captain Marvel versus Shazam.
Well, we can support this by comparing Shazam to Zeus, one of the 6 beings he draws power from. At one point, Zeus channeled enough energy to defeat the Shattered God, who had only previously been defeated by the original Big Bang.
Okay, but Zeus is drawing power from a bunch of other gods. We can see at least 34 here, and there's probably more.
Even if there were 1,000 gods involved, this still means Zeus is responsible for 1/1000th of something comparable to the Big Bang, a universal scale event.
Dracula. Ganondorf versus Dracula.
Despite literally wielding the Triforce of Power, Ganondorf's potential paled in comparison to the energy Dracula drew from Chaos. Let's put this in perspective.
The Triforce of Power comes from the goddess Din, who made the Earth. While we don't know the exact amount of power Din put in this piece, Let's just highball it and directly compare it to her.
So the energy attributed to the Triforce of Power could be compared to the size and energy of a planet. However, the Chaotic Realm is an entire universe, completely upheld by the power of the Chaos Entity. That is leagues greater than the power Ganondorf possessed.
Might Guy. All Might versus Might Guy.
Well, Night Guy did serious damage to Madara, whom Naruto's normal abilities stood no chance against. Obviously, Naruto gains a lot more power when he accesses Sage Mode, Kurama's Chakra, Six Paths powers, etc. But Night Guy is certainly more powerful than Naruto's base form at the end of the series.
You know that hole in the moon we mentioned? That was made by pulling all of Naruto's base chakra out of his body and blowing it up. And I mean all of it.
Most of his chakra has been siphoned off.
We've actually covered this before, and that blast was 480 petatons of TNT. What's a petaton, you ask? Well, it's a whole lot bigger than a gigaton, that's for sure.
And the award for strongest winner goes to Green Lantern. This is Ben 10 versus Green Lantern's fourth award of the evening, having previously won Saltiest Episode, Strongest Loser, and Most Surprising Outcome. Season 6 had a lot of strong characters, but it also had a lot of, well, characters in general, thanks to a battle royale, with the vast majority of the characters being guys. This was quite a long list to put onto the poll, and having almost 30 characters is quite a lot to add to a poll, and it means that it'll be quite close. But when has a close vote ever made anyone upset? With these videos, anyway. Anywho, before we get any political arguments, here are the nominees for Best Male Combatant.
Best Male Combatant. Namor the Submariner. Johnny Cage. Mega Man.exe. Edward Elric. Lobo. Tommy Oliver, Aquaman, Starforce Mega Man, Aang, King Dedede, Shazam, Might Guy, Classic Mega Man, Captain Falcon, The Mask, Wario, Ben Tennyson, Hal Jordan, Sasuke Uchiha, All Might, Mega Man Volnut, Dracula, Ghost Rider, Mega Man X, Ganondorf Dragmire, Hiei, Deadpool, Shigeo Ma Kageyama.
And the award for Best Male Combatant goes to All Might! This is All Might versus Might Guy's third award of the evening, having previously won Best Song and Saddest Death. With how many characters there were and how spread out the votes were, it's important to know why people love these characters. And one thing that I've discovered firsthand is that people really don't like when a character doesn't act like they should in their Death Battle episode. Characterization really is important to Death Battle, no matter what people might tell you. Here are the nominees for Best Characterization.
Best Characterization. Ben Tennyson. Ben 10 versus Green Lantern.
Ha! You're so lame. I bet I could even beat you as Gray Matter.
What? I didn't mean literally.
Cute.
Ew! I stepped in loser. Aquaman. Aquaman versus Namor.
Look out below!
Peasant! You dare splash the Prince of Blood?
Plenty of space around the pool, Spock.
Ganondorf Dragmire. Ganondorf versus Dracula.
Your castle is lost, vampire. No man can challenge my power.
But what is a man? A miserable pile of secrets.
I'm no mere man.
Shigeo Ma Kageyama. Mob versus Tatsumaki.
Time to teach you a lesson.
What?
by the way, just so you know. This is your fault.
Shazam! Captain Marvel versus Shazam!
Huh? Holy no, no, no! Oh, jeez, stop, stop, stop!
Stop right there! You really think you can get away with something so petty?
Oh, I didn't mean this isn't right. See ya!
Weiss Schnee. Weiss versus Mitsuru.
Such good form. You fight with a sense of ease.
Thank you, but flattery will get you nowhere.
The Mask. Deadpool versus Mask.
Smokin'! All right, Majora's Mistake. You've got one chance to take that off. Penis metaphor!
Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage versus Captain Falcon.
You know what they say, all's fair in show business.
Nobody says that!
Lobo.
It's done.
Ghost Rider versus Lobo.
Not yet, scuzzball!
Edward
just too
Elric.
little.
Aang versus Edward Elric.
Little! Who are you calling a pipsqueak, you stupid hairless kid?
Nobody?
I'll show you!
And the award for Best Characterization goes to... The Mask! This is Deadpool vs. Mask's second award of the evening, having previously won Best Host Script and Recap. Before we continue, I have one last announcement to make. I'm pleased to announce that more Death Battle related videos that have not been announced previously will be coming down the pipeline following the Season 7 awards. I know that's why many of you are here, so I figured it would be best to let you know. Anyway, let's move on. For our next category, we get to talk about an admittedly small but still very important part of any Death Battle episode: the voice acting. The voice acting in most episodes of Death Battle can be very solid, and with so many male combatants, having a guy provide a voice for a character and having them stick out as one of the best can be quite an accomplishment. And that's what this category is here to recognize. Here are the nominees for Best Male VA.
Best Male VA. KG Tang as Aquaman. Aquaman versus Namor.
You may be a prince, but I am the king of the seven seas.
Nicholas Andrew Louis as Ben Tennyson and his aliens. Ben 10 versus Green Lantern.
You're not the first doofus to try to take this. It's hero time!
Forearms! Nicholas Andrew Louis as Tommy Oliver. Dragonzord versus Mechagodzilla.
This isn't working. We need more power! Come together!
Kieran Flitton as Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage versus Captain Falcon.
You recording? Yeah? Okay. We're at the F-Zero Grand Prix, snagging some clips for my latest flick. That guy there? That's who I'll be playing.
Bo Bridgeland as Shigeo Mob Kageyama. Mob versus Tatsumaki.
Oh, I'm lost.
What are you doing, dummy? Get out of here.
Can you help me? Do you go to the middle school here?
Kyle Ignexi as The Mask. Deadpool versus Mask.
Oh, wow! You weren't kidding! Ah, Beans, we're in the storyboards! Old chum, I think that zany stunt of yours ran out the budget. Can't make the scene if you don't have the green. Lucky for you, I have an idea!
William T. Sopp as Ganondorf Dragmire. Ganondorf versus Dracula.
Your tricks mean nothing.
Stephen Kelly as Dracula. Ganondorf versus Dracula.
I am no simple vampire. I am a god.
Bradley Garrett as Hal Jordan. Ben 10 versus Green Lantern.
Brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light!
Jason Lord Jazor Marnoka as Lobo. Ghost Rider versus Lobo.
You're one ugly freak.
Look into my eyes. Your soul will burn in hell.
Is that a fact now?
Dick Splitter as Might Guy. All Might versus Might Guy.
Never give up. Eighth gate of death. Open.
And the award for Best Male VA goes to Nicholas Andrew Louis as Ben 10. This is Ben 10 versus Green Lantern's 5th award of the evening, having previously won Saltiest Episode, Strongest Loser, Most Surprising Outcome, and Strongest Winner.
Here to accept the award, please welcome Nicholas Andrew Louis.
Hey Death Battle fans, it's Nicholas Andrew Louis here, voice actor for Death Battle and stuff. I just want to say thank you for voting me Best Male VA for Season 6. That's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. There were a lot of great voice actors and solid performances that year, so, I'm surprised. But still, thank you so much. I appreciate the support, I really do. Regardless of how you feel about the episode as a whole, please, you don't gotta tell me how much you don't like it or that Ben should have won or whatever all the time. Please, I'm good. Stick to the memes. I'm glad that my performance was able to cut through all of that. It's a testament to the direction from Marissa and Death Battle. It's still one of the most challenging and fun sessions I've had for Death Battles so far. I'm very proud of that work. But yeah, thanks, and it's hero time!
When it comes to Death Battle episodes, one thing that can help or harm an episode is the hype that an announcement can generate, especially if that episode is one heavily requested by fans. Death Battle itself relies on hype to get people to watch their episodes, so when they do hype well, they can get people really excited. Here are the nominees for Most Hyped Matchup.
Most Hyped Matchup. All Might versus Might Guy. Aquaman versus Namor. Johnny Cage versus Captain Falcon. Ganondorf versus Dracula. Sasuke versus Hiei. Dragonzord versus Mechagodzilla. Ben 10 versus Green Lantern. Mega Man Battle Royale. Wario versus King Dedede. Deadpool versus Mask.
And the award for Most Hyped Matchup goes to Ganondorf versus Dracula. This is Ganondorf versus Dracula's 4th award of the evening, having previously won Best Death, Most Brutal Death, and Best Animation. While hype is important, one thing that a very large chunk of the viewers of Death Battle, including many of you who watch my videos, care about is how accurate the fight is. Be it who wins, the reason they win, or even how well the characters are portrayed. Many of you mentioned that my pick of the best episode of Season 7 shouldn't be that high for you because it didn't seem right for either character. So it's clear that research is a vital part of any Death Battle episode. While there are always going to be mistakes, as the creators of the show are still humans, this category is to honor the episodes that come the closest to being mistake-free. Here are the nominees for Best Researched Episode.
Best Researched Episode. Mega Man Battle Royale.
Don't forget that EXE's arsenal of battle chips is much larger than Geo's collection of battle cards. Also, EXE could have just used chips like Uninstall, Interrupt, and Catcher to disable all the other Mega Man's weapons and programs whenever he wanted.
Well, except for Volnut, ironically, because his weapons were manual rather than programmed.
You got one, buddy.
Ganondorf versus Dracula.
But hey, I know what you're thinking. What about that Sage Sword Ganondorf had? Shouldn't he have had an easy time killing Drac since it's a holy weapon?
In some circumstances, sure. Running this fight over and over 100 times, Ganondorf would certainly score a few victories. But when considering Dracula's absurd regenerative abilities, it would take more than just a few hits from a holy weapon to finish him off. Not to mention, Dracula also wielded a holy weapon that took advantage of Ganondorf's weakness in the form of Demonic Megiddo. Yeah, I know it's called demonic, so it seems weird, but it is explicitly described to be holy magic.
All Might versus Might Guy.
Remember how he was similar to Gigantomachia, who busted a hole through a freaking mountain?
By scaling the mountain to the pine trees beneath it, it's easy to deduce the blast necessary for this would be about 2.5 gigatons of TNT.
With the multiplier, that would be 150 gigatons in All Might's prime. That's 3,000 times stronger than the biggest nuke that's ever been set off.
But here's the thing, even with the multiplier, we know Guy was faster. And while they've both learned to fight a wide variety of opponents, Guy was trained all his life, and boasted a more versatile set of abilities and techniques.
Weiss versus Mitsuru.
Yeah, even though Weiss had plenty of attack options, Mitsuru's defenses were just too strong. Like how she completely canceled Weiss's ice attacks.
This presented a unique problem for Weiss, who has always been fairly reliant on ice techniques. She was forced to use dust, which she has less experience with.
Plus, Weiss and her summons have never dealt damage anywhere close to that "oh shit, we're dead" explosion that Mitsuru survived. By taking the diameter of the blast here and comparing it to real-life nukes, then considering how far Mitsuru was from the center of it, she took a hit worth over 21 tons of TNT. Definitely higher than Weiss's 7-ton train feat.
Wario versus King DDD.
Wario surviving the Shake King exploding doesn't stack up to DDD getting sucked into a black hole.
By examining the event horizon of Magolor's singularity, we can estimate a range of the black hole's destructive potential. Even the lowest possible option comes out to nearly 86 octillion tons of TNT. That is over 5 times more powerful than the detonating Shake King. And again, that's the lowest option. The black hole's destructive potential is likely even higher than that.
Ghost Rider versus Lobo.
Death was banned from reaping Lobo's soul, but that doesn't mean the soul itself could not be destroyed. This is where our research surprised us the most. It turns out the Ghost Rider had 3 different methods of specifically targeting Lobo's soul.
His Hellfire could hurt the soul directly, and since it ignores normal defenses, Lobo couldn't really stop it.
With trillions of murders on Lobo's hands, the Penance Stare could wield extraordinary power against him. And while Lobo had a high pain tolerance, he did not enjoy fatalistic agony and unending torture so much that he'd survive all of that at once.
Even if he did, Zarathos could just gobble up his soul for a quick snack. The end. Easy as that.
Johnny Cage versus Captain Falcon.
And while Cage's War Cult powers let him survive battling Shinnok, whose power rivals Raiden's 270 tons of TNT blast, recall that this ancestral defense seems specifically tailored to counter such divine forces. A bullet could still put Cage down. It has. And he's even died to lesser foes in alternate timelines.
And anyway, Raiden's final explosion attack is nothing compared to the raw power of the reactor might under the Blue Falcon's hood.
Mob versus Tatsumaki.
We know Mob's sucking shield had a limit given how he was forced to transfer absorbed energy into those seeds, growing a massive head of broccoli in an instant. We can actually use this broccoli to get a general idea of Mob's absorbing limits. Broccoli typically requires 143 kilojoules of energy to grow 1/10 of a kilogram's worth. Scaling this giant one to the nearby buildings, we found it to be 21 million times larger than the average broccoli. This means Mob must have transferred enough energy to equate to about 1.6 megatons of TNT.
Ben 10 versus Green Lantern.
Alien X could definitely match a lot of Hal's power, but Hal had defenses against all of X's. Mind control? The ring protects Hal's head. Mess with time? Hal can do that too. Trying to wipe him from existence? Please, Green Lanterns can survive an entire universe being erased.
Likewise, Alien X has never shown any defenses against the same kinds of things that Hal could replicate, like mind control, transmutation, and time manipulation.
Dragonzord vs. Mechagodzilla.
Compared to Kiryu, the Dragonzord was rather lightweight, with far less impressive feats of strength.
Yeah, while Dragonzord could match the Megazord, who could lift a 10,000-ton monster, Mechagodzilla tossed around a 25,000-ton Godzilla, more than double the weight. Mecha G certainly had the advantage up close.
And also from a distance. Kiryu's arsenal was overall better suited to long-range combat thanks to a wider assortment of missile and beam weapons. Simply put, Kiryu possessed more options for controlling and ending this fight.
Like how they both had instant kill moves, but only one of those depended on getting right up close.
And the award for Best Researched Episode goes to Mega Man Battle Royale! As we talked about earlier, it's hard for male voice actors to stand out when there are so many of them throughout the season. But with how few female characters there are, the voice actresses need to do a good job since they already stand out from how few there are, and it can make or break an episode with them. With all the female VAs doing a great job, only one can be considered the best. Here are the nominees for Best Female VA.
Best Female VA. Hitomi Ferro as Akane Yashiro. Dragonzord vs. Mechagodzilla. Genie Torado as Widowmaker. Black Widow vs. Widowmaker.
It's finished. Rendezvous immediately.
Jennifer Alex as Tatsumaki. Mom vs. Tatsumaki.
You think you're impressive? I'll crush you in 5 seconds flat!
Tara Everly as Weiss Schnee. Once vs. Mitsuru.
Can't touch me, Ice Queen!
So that's what it's like.
Natalie Van Sistine as Black Widow. Black Widow vs. Widowmaker.
Trying to escape me. No chance.
Terry Daly as Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel vs. Shazam.
How about this surprise?
Corey Pettit as Mitsuru Kirijo. Once vs. Mitsuru.
As annoying as this was, I have to admit, you fought valiantly. But now, you'll fall by my own hand!
I can do this on my own.
Artemisia! No mercy!
Emily Fedordo as Aang. Aang vs. Edward Elric.
You know, there are actually a lot of advantages to being short. Like, you'll never hit your head on door frames, and, I'm still growing! Now I gotcha. Ah! Oh no! I'm sorry!
Paige Stork as Billy Batson. Captain Marvel vs. Shazam.
What? Shazam!
And the award for Best Female VA goes to Tara Everly as Weiss Schnee. And now it's time for our final category of the evening. There will always be debate on the best of any category of things, and saying the best episode of a season of Death Battle is also going to cause some debate. Believe me, I know that firsthand. But while we may always debate on what the best episode of any season is, we can at least get an understanding of what other people think is the best, thanks to your votes. Here are the nominees for Best Overall Episode.
Mega Man may be an icon by himself, but others have carried on his legacy, creating real immortality.
Immortality? Not on this show! Time to find out which Mega Man is the most mega of the men!
While there are many versions of the character to choose from, not that one, this battle will feature the 5 most prominent. The classic era Mega Man.
Mega Man X.
Volnut from the Legends series.
Battle Network's Mega Man.exe.
And the Alien Star Force Mega Man. It's a lesson every hero has to learn someday. Just because your enemy is a little on the chubby side doesn't mean he's a pushover.
Are you talking about me?
I'm talking about Wario, the greedy and repulsive rival to Mario.
And King Dedede, the royal nemesis to everybody's favorite pink puffball, Kirby.
For years, humans have gazed at the stars, contemplating the possibilities of first contact with an alien race. Will we exchange gifts of peace or weapons of war?
Weapons. Definitely weapons. Like these ones.
Ben 10, protector of Earth and wielder of the Omnitrix.
And the Green Lantern, galactic lawman and bearer of the Power Ring.
Whether it be to save the world or to benefit themselves, every warrior has a different reason for fighting.
But when they're also a kick-ass celebrity, all that matters is they bring the hype.
Johnny Cage, the stuntman turned legendary hero of Mortal Kombat.
And Captain Falcon, the racer turned bounty hunter on the track of F-Zero.
Whether it be justice, vengeance, or the thrill of the kill, bounty hunting isn't for the faint of heart.
Especially when your usual targets are superheroes.
The Ghost Rider, Marvel's relentless spirit of vengeance.
And Lobo, the space-hogging main man of DC Comics.
Whether they are benevolent deities or harbingers of doom, dragons are freaking awesome.
Hell yeah! Especially the robot kind, like the Dragon Zord, piloted by the Green Power Ranger.
And Kiru, the dangerous and mysterious Mecha Godzilla. They're grim, nihilistic, and dreadfully ominous. Even when they fight on the side of good, they'll never crack a smile or share in the reward.
Oh, great. We're talking about edgelords, aren't we?
Sasuke, rival to Naruto Uzumaki and the solitary survivor of the Uchiha clan.
And Hiei, rival to Yusuke Urameshi and lonely orphan to demons. Neat.
Fame may be fleeting and wealth ephemeral, but true evil never dies.
It just comes back with a goddamn second health bar.
Ganondorf, the calamitous demon king of Princess Zelda's Hyrule.
And Dracula, the everlasting vampire lord of Castlevania.
To most of us, the laws of reality are unbending rules we never question.
Even for us, but for some people, they're more like guidelines.
Such as Deadpool, Marvel's merc with a micropenis.
And The Mask, a total Chad who just oozes big dick energy. Let's be real, superheroes with super strength are like rabbits. They're everywhere.
But when a hero uses that strength to inspire others, they truly stand out from the crowd.
Like All Might, the symbol of peace from My Hero Academia.
And Might Guy, master of ninja combat and bushy brows from Naruto.
And the award for Best Overall Episode goes to All Might vs. Might Guy! This is All Might vs. Might Guy's fourth award of the evening, having previously won Best Song, Saddest Death, and Best Male Combatant. And that's all the awards for this evening. I'd like to thank Nicholas Andrew Louis for giving an acceptance speech for his award tonight, and I'd like to thank you all for being patient as I get these awards out to you. And please don't forget to vote in the polls for the Season 7 awards, which will be in the description or once again popping up in the live chat right now if you're watching this live on Premiere. Thank you all for coming by, and we shall see you again next time with the Season 7 awards. Good night, everybody!